What's going on, everybody? Let me make sure I'm actually live. Here we go. Let's see, we got HD. Yeah, we do. We got HD here. Let's point. All right, cool. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Well, because that's where I'm based, right? Yeah. What's going on? How's everybody doing? It's like the first week, the beginning of the first week, or I guess beginning of the second week of December. No, let me see. But yeah, I put out a video today, how to become a cloud engineer in 2020, and I figured I'd hop on stream to just answer any questions that I probably didn't get to in the exact video. Let me see. Yeah, I guess, yeah, second week of December. But yeah, let's talk anything cloud, anything career, tech career, cloud engineering, advocacy. I'm here to answer any questions, really. Let's see. King Jeff. What's up? What's going on, GPS? Seen you on A Cloud Guru. Yep. I used to work there. I worked there for about 6 months from December of last year. Wow, that was a year ago. December of last year to this year. I think I left A Cloud Guru in April to join Microsoft. So it was a good time. Good. Met a lot of cool people who work there. So shout out to them. I was summoned. How are you doing? I haven't checked in with you, but yeah. How's everyone doing? Let me know. I picked up a book yesterday, The Unicorn Project. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I share a lot of often like what I'm reading, and I just picked this up yesterday. I went for a little Barnes and Noble run, and I picked this up. I'm very excited to dive into some holiday reading. I picked up a couple of books actually. Also, Distributed Systems. Let me show you, but I have that in digital format. Does anyone have it like where if I read like code or tech books, like not or yeah, I like to keep them in PDF format on my iPad, and then if I'm reading like nonfiction or fiction, I like to keep them on like actual like physical book, right? Oh goodness, now I have to sign in again. I'm giving my notice tomorrow and I'm going to California in 2 weeks. Nice. Very happy to hear that you're moving out, making some moves in your career and personal life. It's always a good thing. I'm trying to sign in to show you the books that I have on my iPad, but it's not working for some reason. Anyway. I listened to Phoenix Project on Audible. It was good. Yeah, Phoenix Project is a fantastic book. I highly recommend that to everyone. It's like probably one of my favorite tech books. And then the Unicorn Project is the one like from the developer side, which I don't really have a background in like dev, so I guess it's always good to. Let me do sign in. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why it's not working, but whatever. Getting my resume ready to transition to become a junior cloud administrator in Azure. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Cloud. I'm a big fan of cloud administration roles because, in terms of like barrier to entry, it's a lot more accessible than other spaces in cloud, and that's a good thing, right? It's like help desk to tech, cloud admin to cloud kind of thing, right? So that's great. Yeah, I've heard really, really good things about the Unicorn Project. Obviously, with reading the Phoenix Project, I'm very aware of like the storytelling aspect to it. So, yeah, it's definitely one of its kind. Like I don't know too many books that are based on that have like that kind of plot. And then I'm reading this one here. Oh no. Come on. I'm trying to get it to load. To load the... let's do that. No. Nope. Hi, GPS. I'm doing good. working, doing deliveries, and watching great content at the same time. Oh, awesome, Francisco. Very glad to hear that. It's yeah. I was sort of remembering today about how when I was doing help desk, in between tasks, or if I had like some time, I would always try to like watch YouTube videos and stuff about cloud. And I know it could be frustrating to find ways like to fit in and like feel like you're like you can never keep up. For some reason, it doesn't show me the cover, but this is the book, Designing Distributed Systems by Brendan Burns, who's actually a distinguished engineer at Microsoft. So we're colleagues, but you know, there's so many people that work at Microsoft, so colleagues might be too close of a word. But I plan on reading the whole thing, making notes, and then if I could ever like schedule just like a coffee chat with Brendan, that would be so cool. But yeah, and just like chat about the book. I'm very interested in. I made this video too, but I'm very interested in focusing next year and then onwards on cloud native technologies, so solutions that are made from scratch to take advantage of cloud. Not necessarily building them, but being very, very aware and like of like how they are built, and like turning more into like an architect, like solutions architect when it comes to that kind of stuff. Aldair, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Hi, how are you doing? It's good to see you streaming. Yeah, I mean I stream a lot. I just don't stream this like casual kind of conversation kind of thing. But yeah, I stream like 3 times a week now with like, I mean technical content, right? Oh, you know what I was working with yesterday, which I am so surprised that it took me forever to like get to it. Bicep. Bicep is a very, 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 very cool tool, and I'm so excited that I finally gave myself time to like play around with it, because it's from now on everything that I do in terms of infrastructure as code, I'm going to use Bicep. Obviously, that's like a very, very specific to me because I only really work in Azure. Terraform might still be the best bang for your buck if you're a beginner and working with multiple clouds and whatnot, but Bicep was such a delight because I've worked with ARM templates before, right? And Bicep is a language that is like the underlying technology is still ARM, right? So Bicep is just a language that works on top of it. Such a delight to work with. If you haven't, highly recommend checking it out, right? If you work with Azure and infrastructure as code. Hi from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. ¿Cómo estamos? Yeah. What's everyone been working on this year? And well, I guess this year would be a good question because it's like, with it being the end of the year, it's a good time to reflect. Let me see if Rishab's available. If he's, let me see. Or if I can get someone to join me on stream. If anyone wants to join. All right, cool. If not, it's just gonna be me talking, answering questions. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. What's everyone working on this week or this year? What's everyone's focus for next year? That's a good question too. Yeah, what's like another great question to ask? I don't know. I haven't done these casual chats in a while. I used to do them quite often, so I'm a little rusty. I got this hat in the mail today. It's kind of bright though. Hold on. Let me lower this here a little. Nope, that's not what I want to do. This here. There, that's better. Okay, cool. What was I going to bring up? Oh, I'm curious what people think about Web3 and you know, crypto and this whole movement. If you're on tech Twitter, there's no way that you could have avoided this topic of Web3. You know, Ethereum, Solana, all that kind of stuff. I'm just curious about people's opinions, really. We don't really have to get too in depth into it. But generally just want to talk about, you know, cloud. That's still my focus. And it's going to be my focus for years, despite people thinking that it's saturated or that, you know, you have to like move on to like the next new thing. I still think there's so much potential in cloud. I was thinking about this earlier today, like what my next role would be. Not that I would move on from my current role in anytime soon, but I definitely want to work into like maybe on the Azure Functions team or on the Azure Container Instance. It's called Container Apps team. Yeah, next move would be that. Let's take a look here. Good question. Do you need to have a lot of coding experience to get in cloud-based jobs? No, but you do need to be familiar with a language because you're going to be scripting and then eventually using infrastructure as code, right? So you don't need to know how to create full applications like back-end, front-end, stuff like that, no. But you do need to be able to script things together, right? When was the last time you've been to Mexico? I've never been to Mexico. If cloud admin is more of an entry-level role in cloud, what would be the next step? Whatever specialization I choose, or is there a specific step that you should be taken? No, it's really up to you. I think once you're in a cloud administrator role, you're going to get sort of exposure to like many, many different areas of cloud. And then just pay attention to like what you enjoy most. Do you enjoy more of the development? Do you enjoy more of like architecting the solutions? Or maybe you want to move up the cloud admin like seniority. Do you enjoy security things? Do you enjoy like more of the DevOps things? So pay attention to what you like and then sort of specialize in that. Whether that be through like projects and certifications or whatever it might be. But you can like take kind of any road once you're in. The hard part is just getting in. So once you're in, you know, it's all up to you really. Like I did, sysadmin, then cloud engineer. Like the most generic role out there is cloud engineer, which I did like every single aspect of cloud. And then I went to training architect and now cloud advocacy. So even in the like cloud space, like there's just like so much you can do, right? I'm working on A+, but my main goal is cloud. So I'm thinking if it is a waste of time and I should focus on cloud right now, the problem is I don't have any IT experience. So that is a good question. I'm not going to tell you that A+ is a waste of time because if you don't have any IT experience, then landing a role in IT, which like a support level role, which is personally this is what I did, right? I went into a help desk role and then moved my way up from there, but I never got A+. But I had somewhat of a like awareness of tech. Like I did like 2 semesters of computer science and stuff like that, so I was aware of like technology. But if you don't have that and you need something like A+ to help you out, like, you know, studying things like that, go for it. But what I usually recommend is like find a help desk role or something like that, or support level role. Do that, you know, actually obviously like gain the salary, gain experience, and study on the side, and then like move your way up, right? But I wouldn't say A+ is a waste of time. It just isn't something that you need for work cloud. But it might be something that will help you land a support role, which is to get your foot in the door with tech roles, right? Which scripting language is needed most in cloud administration? I would say Bash or PowerShell, and then Python. So probably if it was like universal, I would say Bash and then Python, because Bash is the language that's available to every single Linux server, right? Yeah. Can you just explain the differences between cloud engineer and cloud architect? How is the daily life of each one? So cloud engineer is very, very generic. When I tell you you're gonna be, if you see cloud engineer, you have no idea what you're gonna be working on really. So when I was a cloud engineer, I was doing like every single field, every single part of like the space, right? I was even doing like full stack development. And this is my issue with roles in general in tech is that a cloud engineer at company A is going to be completely different than a cloud engineer at company B. There's no real standard. So it's more important for you to pay attention to like the role descriptions than the actual role itself, right? I would say cloud engineer, it's more general. Cloud architect, you're mainly focused on building solutions and like sort of planning them out. Not necessarily like deploying or anything like that, but you're building them out. Cloud architect roles aren't necessarily entry-level friendly. Like you require years of experience because they're expected to be like, you know, you need to build a blueprint of projects. And the only way you can have that knowledge is if you've been through a couple of cloud projects and roles and stuff like that, right? Cloud engineer, since it's very general, you can be doing like anything. Like if you're maintaining infrastructure, you're deploying stuff, maybe you're looking at like monitoring data, logs and stuff like that. Architecting, again, you're just focused on putting together solutions, having conversations with different teams, or needing to figure out the needs and stuff like that. HBS, I've been leveling up really fast and was able to go from IT support to junior sysadmin in about 6 months. Amazing. How to jump jobs with, however, do you think if I keep doing this, it will be a red flag? I mean, no, if you were able to get like that, make that change, like that role change, it's fantastic. I would just say like, you know, try to get the most you can out of your job. And if another opportunity comes up and it's been like another 6 months, like go for it. Yeah, why not? People in tech, it's both ways. Like there's such a high turnover because there's just so many roles out there. And it's easy for people to find something new, right? Like I joined my current role like back in June, and I get like people wanting to interview me every day on LinkedIn, right? So it's like very common. But just make sure you're not changing jobs to change jobs unless you absolutely want to, right? Because, starting a new team, learning new things, it's great, but it's also like very tiresome, right? But ultimately it's up to you. Like, don't worry necessarily about how it looks like to the company. Like, if it's better for you, then yeah, why not? I work in middleware. Tomcat. Wow, that's something I haven't heard about. WebSphere. I haven't heard of that in a while. And start to work on containerization. Kubernetes, OpenShift. Do you believe my sysadmin background? Absolutely. Your sysadmin background and what you're telling me here with containerization is going to help you with every aspect of cloud, not just administration. If you go into like DevOps and stuff like that, having that kind of skill set is definitely going to help. So yeah, you're definitely a step ahead if you have this already when you're trying to get into cloud. I have a GitHub and Docker account because you should have that no matter what. That's what I will say. But yeah, can you make sure you like the stream, and then we can get more people viewing. And I'm trying to do these as often as I can where I just answer questions. But I know YouTube doesn't like notify everyone. But I know if you like the stream, it'll notify more people. I'm just trying to answer as many questions as I can while I'm here. What is the very basic cloud job is there? Essentially, I got my fundamental certification in one of the cloud-based platforms. So it's the very first job I can get. I would say cloud admin or cloud support, something like that is probably your very basic, where you're doing a lot of general tasks in cloud. Think of like a system administrator, but like focused on cloud, right? That's probably the one, like most entry-level friendly kind of thing. People are saying that they like the stream. Awesome. Hold on, I need some water. Someone said, damn you bad. My girlfriend's going to get pissed at that. Just kidding. Let's see. Oh, hey, Elf. I'll send you the link in a second to join. Just trying to get more people to get into the stream here. Can you suggest any book for beginner? Book on what? What topics are you trying to learn? Tell me what topics. You got to be more specific. I can help you find what you need to find, but I need like as many specific details as you can, right? I don't know what book, like what subject. Hi, good evening, everyone. Everyone. Digit 1, I get it. I've watched you for a short while. Why did you choose Azure over AWS? Okay, so when I was learning cloud back in 2016, I did what everyone I recommend as a beginner should do, which is just Google a bunch of cloud jobs and like which one was the most popular one, and I picked AWS, right? I studied for 6 months to get my Certified Developer Associate certification. I passed it, and then it took a few more months before I started to look for more roles. And in my area where I used to live, not anymore, but where I used to live, there were just more Azure jobs, right? I got an interview for like a sysadmin role, but at an Azure shop, and they were like, "We'll let you work on literally anything you want if you prove that you can do it, but you got to learn Azure." So I get the job, and I'm like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna learn Azure. I'm not gonna be like stuck to one cloud just because I don't know." Because I like it more or whatever, which wasn't the case. So yeah, I started learning Azure. I used like a lot of Microsoft Learning content in documentation, and I learned Azure really. And then because I was like, they had so many projects that I could work on, I just learned more and more and more, and then that turned into like my cloud engineering position. And then I started making YouTube videos, and then I sort of just leaned into what I knew more of, which was Azure. And yeah, now I work at Microsoft, so obviously I'm going to use Azure. But if you're a beginner, I would pick like any. You can't go wrong with any three of them. What beer are you drinking? This beer is called water. I don't drink actually. Oh goodness, I gotta block some people now. See, this is a bad thing of like when you get on live stream, like you don't know what kind of comments you're gonna get. Have you thought about designing and architecting cloud environments from scratch, and what does your lab look like? What do you mean your lab? what is your lab? Like actual physical lab, or like a diagram kind of thing? Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I was looking into this today, which is why I was working with Bicep. I want to start building out full-on projects that I can put on GitHub, and there'll be like a deploy to Azure button that you can just deploy and implement for yourself. So yeah, designing and architecting stuff from scratch, but including like diagrams, including a little bit more resources in terms of like why I selected certain technologies and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just a time kind of thing. There's a lot to get done, but we'll do that. For your last interview, what were questions that you remember they asked for my last interview? What do you mean, like my Microsoft interview or like my last cloud engineering role? Which one? Actual physical lab, server one. I don't have a physical lab. I just do everything in the cloud, really. I could like get like some Raspberry Pis or something like that. I just don't really. I don't like to have to buy more physical things, so I just do everything in the cloud. How do I download Bicep? If you go to GitHub, I think it's GitHub Bicep. It's not something. I guess there is like. Hold on. Here we go. I'll put the link here. There. That's where Bicep is. Hey Boris, how you doing? How do you see the future for cloud jobs in the US? Is it something that can be outsourced? I mean, everything can be outsourced, right? But if you're good at your job, you're not going to be outsourced. Or you can always find another one, right? I wouldn't worry too much about that, right? I mean, any job can be outsourced, so there's no point in worrying about that. That's the beauty of cloud. No more physical servers. Exactly. I just deployed a Nextcloud. If you don't know what Nextcloud is, it's like an open source alternative to like something like Google Drive and stuff like that. I deployed it on an Azure VM, like an Ubuntu VM on Azure. It's so cool. Now I just I'll back up all my stuff, like my phone and stuff like that, to like that. Cloud engineering from simple to a difficult question. I don't understand the question there. Except maybe edge. Yeah, edge computing, which is where you have like infrastructure lives on the edge, or you need infrastructure because of security reasons, compliance reasons. Maybe you're somewhere with limited network connectivity or something like that. Yeah, then yes. But if like me, I don't really need physical servers. So let me have specific. Let me be specific. Have a background basic in IT. Want to get into cloud. Let me be more specific. I have a background in IT, but I wanted to get into cloud. I don't understand this question. I'm sorry. Try to like word it differently. Pros and cons on Bicep versus Terraform. I don't have too much experience with Terraform. So I can't really compare Bicep with Terraform, but Bicep is way better than just working straight with ARM. That's all I can say, really. I wouldn't necessarily like the reason I lean into Bicep is because I don't really use anything besides ARM, right? But if you're looking from the stance of like multi-cloud or like you use AWS or something like that, and you're a beginner, Terraform is probably going to be the better way to go. But Bicep is it's just like so easy to pick up. That's what I'll say. And I know Terraform is relatively similar. So, yeah. How long did you study for AZ900? I didn't study. I had like 2 years of Azure experience. I was talking about this the other day. And then I got mad because someone on tech Twitter was saying that entry-level certifications are like pointless. So I decided to put my money where my mouth was and make a point. So I scheduled a certification for that same day, the test. And I barely passed. So it's a lot harder than I expected it to be. But I didn't study. Do you play video games? What do you do for fun? Yeah. I was just playing Far Cry 6 with my brother. I play 2K. My favorite all-time video game is Sleeping Dogs. I like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. The remake is fantastic. I like... what else have I been playing? Days Gone was a fantastic game that I finished. Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA. I want to get the remake of GTA, like the trilogy, but I don't necessarily know if I have time. But yeah, I literally always have my like controller here, and I have a custom PC. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. Sorry. But I have a custom PC over here, so I like game on this thing. I bought a used Facebook server, dual Xeon CPUs with 20 cores and maxed out. Its RAM is 128 gigabytes, and I plan to move 1 terabyte NVMe and 2 gigabyte solid state drive to get me started playing with OpenStack. Wow. How did you buy you bought a used Facebook server? Is that just something you can buy? I didn't know that. That's sick though. You know, I do want to get into home labbing, but it's just not here, like not in my apartment. Maybe in like a few years or something like that. But just like not, because I don't really want to set anything up here. Yeah, but that's very cool. Terraform is probably more comparable to Azure Blueprints. I wouldn't say that. I guess the good thing about Bicep is like everything Azure is going to be immediately supported with it, whereas like the support for Terraform might take a little bit longer, right? But besides that, I'm looking at Google Cloud Security. I'm looking at going to Cloud Security. I took AZ 700 and 500. I'm prepping for CompTIA Plus, and I'm in the right direction. Can you advise? Can you tell me what your background, like your work background is in tech? I took AZ 700. Those are great certifications, the 700 and the 500. That's networking and security. It's fantastic. Sec Plus is also well respected in security, so that's a good one. Yeah, and just obviously make sure you're doing like labs and like documenting stuff. But I think that is a solid direction. I did same on HP Z7 600. No, Gwen, it's loud. Oh, like if I set it up, it's gonna be loud. Yeah, then I can't do it because I'm like streaming all the time, recording stuff all the time. I can't. I have a friend who is a cloud advocate in I think San Fran, and I'm pretty sure he has like a lab in his place. They put them on Amazon after. No way. They sell Facebook servers on Amazon. That's kind of cool. Obviously they're wiped and all that kind of stuff, but it's still pretty cool to say like, oh, I own a server that used to be used by Facebook, or like any big tech company, right? My mom just texted me. My mom just said that she watches my videos and that, she just watched my latest video and that I speak more calmly and slowly that even she understands. So that's a good thing. Thank you, Mom. Let me heart that little message there. Isn't it nice when your parents support you? But anyway, that's cool that you can buy used servers, stuff like that. It's fantastic. Hold on. I want to make sure I don't lose these questions that I need to get. Let's see. I can ask if you recommend any book on cloud because I'm a beginner in cloud, though having a bachelor's degree in IT but new to cloud. A cloud book, specific to cloud. I don't think I've read a cloud book, and I don't want to recommend something that I personally haven't used. Yeah, sorry, don't have a cloud book recommendation for cloud computing specifically. But you know what? Maybe I'll look into it this holiday and make a video about recommendations. You can read the Phoenix Project is like an interesting one, but it's more DevOps than cloud. So yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. Sorry. Hello from Colombia. You focus on learning something specific about Azure, or everything in general. So with where'd it go? With Azure, I'm moving more into focusing on cloud native solutions and specifically serverless stuff. So, serverless backends, microservices implemented in a serverless way. What else is there? Like automation, which is why I was looking into Bicep yesterday. And what's the other very important part? Microservices backing, containerization, but I think that's like backing services. But anyway, so yeah, the cloud native solutions within Azure, but there's like a lot, there's a lot that I'm not trying to focus on, like data science, machine learning, not necessarily focusing on networking and stuff like that, but more like bigger picture and like really be able to like piece apart solutions and put them together. Yeah, so that's still like a lot, right? But yeah, serverless cloud native solutions is in terms of Azure is what I'm focusing on. What are some skills you think every employer looks in cloud engineer management, or is it too dependent on the company? Linux, networking fundamentals, programming or scripting fundamentals, cloud platform fundamentals, DevOps fundamental practices. And I, like the video that I made today is like just based off everything that I would expect like the majority of roles to have like as a standard. So when you think Linux, being able to change directories, being able to work with files, being able to filter your output with grep, the AWK, the sed command, things like that. Being able to piece together commands and pipelines and redirect your output, stuff like that. You need to be able to SSH into things. Networking, you need to understand how to put together networks, subnets, private IP addresses, routing, stuff like that. With programming or scripting, personally, I think like having the fundamentals of any programming language. I usually recommend Python because it's beginner friendly. It's like very popular in terms of like job search and stuff like that. But understanding the fundamentals, you don't need to be a full-on developer. You don't need to build full applications. You can get into cloud development if you wanted to, but in terms of like cloud administration, you need to understand the fundamentals. Something like Bash, it would be like the minimum and also very, very helpful. But you can also learn things like PowerShell and Python. Cloud platform, obviously you need to be able to implement budgets, anything that you can do in a cloud in the GUI, like if you go to the website of the cloud platform that you're using, you need to also be able to do in the CLI, which is a command line interface, which is how you would deploy stuff with commands, which is why I also say that having Linux experience is very important when it comes to cloud engineering, cloud administration. And then for DevOps practices, infrastructure as code, version control, and continuous integration and continuous deployment. So Git, GitHub, and GitHub Actions. And Terraform probably. It's like usually what I recommend. It's kind of like the 4 phases. But literally the latest video that I uploaded covers all of this. Cloud Plus. Good certification. I tend to say like if you're going to get a cloud cert and if you're only going to get one, do a vendor specific one because they hold a little bit more weight. But if you're going to do multiple ones, then yeah, Cloud Plus is not a bad idea. Do you have a Kindle? Yes, I have a Kindle. If you want a book on cloud, I took just learning how the cloud actually works. I'm kind of sad that 365 certifications are not common anymore or in demand. Azure certifications are definitely the way to go. Yeah, but they have certifications that are like specific to like 365 and stuff like that, right? So I think they're gone, but they've been sort of updated into like these newer role specific ones because everything is like Azure like revolves around a lot of like these 365 services too. So they're not gone. They're just involved or included in different ways, right? Read the documentation of big service providers, blah, blah, blah. I have tons of... Oh, you know what? Each cloud provider has like white papers. So like Azure has the Azure framework, and then like there's like a bunch of PDFs that you can go download. Go read a bunch of those. I think check out the white papers for everyone's. I'm going to Google that right now. We'll do a share screen here. Azure framework. Azure framework. All right, let's do this here. Hold on. We'll go here. And then we'll do a share this. All right, can everyone see? All right, so we have Microsoft Well Architected Framework, and then it's sort of like this PDF where it covers like, we'll go a little reliability, security, cost optimization, operational excellence, and performance efficiency. And these are like a bunch of things that you can read. It's not necessarily a book. I think this used to be like a PDF or something like that. But it's sort of like a very wide overview of the things that you need to implement in terms of like excellence in the cloud, right? And you learn a lot here. There's a lot of information here. Overview. I thought it used to be a PDF. Maybe it's not. Let's see. But AWS has this too. If we go to like AWS, Well Architected Framework. Here. Yeah, they have this too. Yeah, go read these. GCP will probably have this too. Right? But those are good. They're not necessarily books, but this way. Not necessarily books, but they're great things to read. I love that cloud role is a jack of all trades, so much to learn. Yeah, that's why I got into cloud. I remember wanting to get into like more software developer, But then I got into cloud, and I was like, oh, this is like so much more of my way of learning. And just it's like so fast paced. There's always like new things to like play around with, stuff like that. And I'm not like coding all day. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with coding all day. It's just like not something I prefer. Only Met Cloud Plus would be a good book for, yeah, if you wanted to. Or you could also just piece together like a bunch of these like documentation stuff and just like read on different topics every day. There's so much documentation from every single cloud platform out there. So you're never going to get tired of reading. Let me see. Did I miss any? Beep, 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 beep. I think I got everything right. Also, if you have a bachelor's degree in IT, this is going to be helpful. So that's good. Azure documentation is amazing. Yeah, I learned everything from Azure with documentation and Microsoft Learn. It's like, to me, and like obviously I have to say this, I'm biased. I know I work at Microsoft, but this was from me before I worked at Microsoft. It's so helpful, and I'm just so glad that it's free. You can like look up everything that you need, right? Like I used the Bicep documentation yesterday to like piece together like a solution that I needed. What other social media platforms are you on? Twitter? I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Everything is at Made by GPS. At Made by GPS. Oh, rats! I put that wrong. No, don't do that one. At Made by GPS. There we go. All right, this is my goodness. I did it wrong again. Here we go. This is my username and every social media platform. My Instagram, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my TikTok, all that kind of stuff. It's at Made by GPS. So go follow me and don't expect. I know a lot of like I guess tech creators post like a bunch of tech stuff and diagrams and informationals and stuff like that. Please do not expect that from me. I think the reason that I like can work the way that I work and as hard as I can work is because I have like a good balance. Like I'll post like on my Instagram there's like this picture of these dogs that I saw today that like were so fluffy. Like look at these fluffy boys. Look at that. Yeah. See? If I was like so focused on tech, I would be like, oh no, I can't. My audience doesn't want to see that. Like I don't care. I'm a person. I have a life. You're gonna get that. So if that's not what you're looking for, then don't follow me. But let's see. I just looked up Bicep. I made a wrong analogy earlier. No, it's a language infrastructure as code that sits on top of ARM. It's fantastic. You should give it a try if you haven't played around it. Didn't know about documentation. Good to know. Yeah, if you are ever sort of trying to learn something when it comes to any cloud platform, your first, I think, go-to should be documentation. One, because it's free, but two, it's because it's like such a standard to write documentation and to read documentation in a tech role. So why not make it your default, right? If you want to get more in depth and like get a full course or a full book on a specific topic, there's plenty of that too. But usually documentation is like great to just like piece together because you're gonna have to like piece together a bunch of stuff. So documentation is fantastic for step. Let's see. Did I miss anything? How long have we been live for? 40 minutes. All right, we'll do a few more minutes. And then I gotta go keep working on some Bicep stuff. I have a conference this Friday. It's gonna be in Spanish. If anyone is interested in Spanish content, be sure to pay attention to my Twitter. I'll share a link there. I'm gonna be doing some real-time stuff with Azure SignalR, Azure Functions for that, but I have to like piece together the whole thing still. It's a couple of days from now. Oh, we have a Python thing we're doing in Spanish too this Tuesday. That's gonna be great. What else do we have the rest of this year? I can't remember. I know I have another session on Thursday. I think we're doing some Power App stuff. Next week we have another Python series, and I think we're done. Then we're done for the year. What a year it's been, people. I never knew I was capable of working this much this year, but like it's been quite the ride. Yeah. Next year we're having, if anyone's in like the New York City area or New York City is accessible to you, we're going to be doing a conference. That's going to be great. Still very early on. We're still figuring out the details, but that's gonna be freaking cool. I've never organized a conference, so this is gonna be like fantastic experience for me. Let's see. Is your position at Microsoft everything you thought it would be? Yeah, it is absolutely everything I thought it would be. And I already am thinking of like what my next role is going to be. I definitely want to work on the Azure Functions team or the Azure Container Apps team whenever I am like looking to move into my next role. Not saying that's anytime soon, but I'm very, very excited. I want to be like, I want to be at Microsoft for like until I retire. So yeah, I very much want to be like a Scott Hanselman kind of figure in terms of like longevity at the company. Yeah, now it's like I get to work on almost anything I want kind of thing. There's like so many resources, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's fantastic. Really, 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 really enjoyed here. Reactor. Yeah, the streams are with the Reactor, the ones that I mentioned. All right, any more questions, y'all? I think I'm gonna try. I might do another stream before the year ends. We'll see how it goes. Like another one of these, like just kind of answer question stream. Reactor Scott is in Scott is a national treasure. Yeah. Would you move to Europe? I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I just don't necessarily. It's not that I would visit, travel for sure. I don't think I would move to Europe though. It's Brian. Would love to be in a similar role someday. Yeah. I mean, hey, I always knew that I was going to at some point work at Microsoft. I just didn't know how or like when, but you know, it was just a goal always and it worked out. Great to see you back doing a live GPS ready for the next Far Cry. What the next one? Far Cry 6 came out like a month ago. I'm already playing it. I literally just like right before this stream, I was playing with my brother. He already finished the game like a month ago. I think he finished it like a week after it came out. For me, it takes forever to finish a game. Like it'll take me a year because I play like a little bit each week, maybe like an hour or something like that. But like I can't like dedicate more time to it. But it's fun. Go eat. Are COVID lockdowns harsh in NYC nowadays? We have to wear masks inside again, but we don't have any lockdowns going on. But I try to like, you know, stay away from large groups of people. Spanish content. I need a good translator. Do you need a good translator for the Spanish content or from English to Spanish? Because I have plenty of content in both in English and then making more in Spanish. I'm late. OD, I didn't get my copy yet. You got to get this. Very, very fun game. Very, very fun. I'm a big fan of the Far Cry series. All right, y'all. I'm going to peace out. Let's do another one next week on Sunday. How about that? We'll do one more. So if you have questions, ask me next Sunday, 7 o'clock. We'll see each other then, all right? Peace out, everyone.